Hi everyone, Menz here. Going to be starting out tonight with the newest tank, at least as far as right now, being sold, the T1 Centennial. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It's the first, even though it's under British tanks, it's the first Australian tank, and pretty much probably going to be the only one as far as right now is concerned released in World of Tanks. It's an interesting tank. It is very cheap. There's a option to buy just the tank, I think for $10, or the tank plus equipment, a little bit of gold and whatnot for 25, I believe. In any event, tier 4 premium tank. Hopefully, I'm not wrong there. But it's an interesting tank. Armor's pretty good. Gun's alright. It's just very slow climbing hills, and also the aiming time's a little bit long on it. To answer your question, Doug, T95 over T30. Honestly, the T30 is probably better than the T95 overall, but both have their own little quirks to them. I just happen to own the T95 right now and not the T30. I kind of rage sold it after they switched it over to be a tank destroyer. Hello, Daniel. Since I was kind of mad that they did that back then, but T28 prototype I like over the T28 since the turret definitely does help, and really the armor on both tanks. The prototype I like it a bit better, but really the T28 regular T28 it just suffers from pretty much everything except for its gun. But really, T95 to T30, it's dependent on your playstyle. Right now, the T30 is probably definitely a better tank overall. And I can gladly hop into, yep, both of them, the T95 and T28. I just wanted to start out tonight with the AC1 here. As far as its armor is concerned, they're saying it's good armor. It's decent in the front. As far as the effective armor values, it's about 65 millimeter effective armor across the front in a lot of places. It's all over the place as far as thickness, angles, and whatnot. But one thing that might confuse people is its cupola is actually pretty strong over most of it compared to the rest of the tank. That can reach up to like 120 millimeter effective armor. But yeah, I'll definitely get to the T95, T28 prototype, and then if there's any other tanks anybody else would like me to play or have any questions, I'll gladly answer them. Yeah, thing on the front of the Centennial. Yeah, it's definitely, a lot of people have been calling it the like Australian penis, so definitely looks like one in more ways than one. Don't know what this guy's doing, but as you see, this aiming time is atrocious, and this is even with a enhanced gun laying drive to help that out a little bit. Alright, so that guy didn't move at all. But the gun on this is surprisingly well. Armor's decent. It just, again, lacks engine power to really move about the map, especially up hills. And also lacks the aiming time and also armor outside of the frontal armor. Really concerned about over here. There's no enemies at all, and our left flank, like, I'm pushing up as cautiously as I can, but I'm trying to hurry up. It's gonna be a little terrifying. Ooh, that guy almost looked like he was gonna tip over. Alright, little buddy, I didn't want to damage you there, but you're not leaving me much room. Alright. I don't know if the guy is still there. This is why I'm still just pushing. I'm looking to get around here. Alright, so we have that T-127. He's going to be trying to flank me. I'm going to try to get out this artillery, though, first. or possibly both artilleries will be nice. I think it'll be well worth my time to get these guys out. Hopefully I don't get... good, he missed. I know the guy's behind me. I'm looking to get this guy out and then worry about focusing on him. Here we go. Fortunately, he's hitting my turret, which helps me out a lot. It would be nice if we could kill him since he's got a decent amount of penetration, but there we go. Yeah, this tank it is definitely gonna... I think you're gonna see a lot of them since, yes, it's the only Australian tank currently. They're being sold, as far as I know. It has a special camo, inscriptions, or emblems they're called, through the gift shop just so you can get them, since it is under a British tank, and really it's just for money, but at the same time it's kind of neat getting a tank like this when it's not exactly a nation that is known for tanks compared to the ones in World Tanks. I'm just switching over to APCR since I don't really want to worry about killing that guy. APCR on this thing's great. Even the AP is great on it as well. Oops, that was a bad shot. But it's a tier 4 premium, so really you can't get your hopes up. Oops, high. Almost got out of the cap there. It's not going to make a ton of credits. It's not going to be something that you play on a consistent basis unless you like tier 4 and 5 battles, but it's a good tank nonetheless. A lot of people are basically railing on it a little bit too much, but it just kind of works. Its armor is just good enough to bounce a lot of shots unless you're against a lot of higher tiers. And the gun, while the aim timing is a little bit long, it's workable with a gun laying drive. But it's definitely a tank I feel like you're not going to see just played a lot in the beginning and then dies out. Hopefully that did not pop up. I just had a window pop up on my PC. But in any event, Mastery Badge 2nd class. Damage-wise, 674. Almost, not exactly double my hit points. Blocked a little bit. Assisted with a little bit. Really, this is a decent tank all around. Alright, T28 prototype. Let's hop into that one first, and then T95 after that. But essentially, getting back to your question, Doug, like I kind of think for most people, going up to T28, T30, T110E4 lines better off for them, since really the tanks work out pretty well. They're not as specialized as the T28, T95, and T110E3 line, but nonetheless, the group of 3 tanks, they're very enjoyable to play. Like the T28 prototype will of course lose to a T28 head on if it comes across it, because the T28's gun's better, and really they can chew through any armor on both tanks unless you're shooting at a bad spot. T30 against T95, I would kind of hedge my bet on T30 in most cases, just because it can hold down and really use its turret and isn't as slow as the T95. And then the T110 E3 against the E4, really that one just comes down to what map you're on. E4 is better on most maps, especially city maps, compared to the E3. And then, especially at closer ranges, the E4 probably has a slight advantage as long as it can potentially flank or basically hide behind corners compared to the E3. But both lines are pretty well balanced compared to one another. It's just one's a turret line, one's a non-turret line. It would probably be a different story if the T95 was a little bit quicker and the T28, the regular one, had a little bit more armor that was more historical, since the T28 currently in game, armor-wise, is completely made up. Really, the T95 that we have in game with the double tracks, that is essentially what the T28 should be. Got a little tongue tie there, too many T's. But without the double tracks, that's what the T28 was, just a single tracks version of the T95, which went up to double tracks, if I remember correctly, just because it ended up sinking in soft terrain. Let's see if I can catch anybody else trying to peek through. I want to get over here, but I don't want to end up screwing myself. I'm probably going to take one shot here. I'm just going to keep myself a little bit angled. And, yep, hope for the best. But I might just squeak through. Nope. Oh well. I was hoping to squeak through with just taking one shot. That, of course, didn't work. But I'd like to just get up here. Maybe we can surprise this one M103, who's probably going to try to pop out here. Yeah, it didn't exactly work out. I was hoping to get an HP shot there, not just a critical hit. Oh, are you fucking kidding me, dude? And I'm dead. Thank you. Thanks, Jagged Tiger 8.8. Had he not shot me, I wouldn't have had to look behind and also pull back. I would have just stuck up where I was. But once I took that shot, I was like, holy shit, there's someone behind us. Alright, so there's a nice way not to play the T28 prototype. Granted, I got nailed by artillery, which a lot of people, since the HD buff, you might think it still has, or it has better artillery protection, which it kind of does, but it really doesn't overall. If artillery hits you in this thing, or not this thing, but the T28 prototype, you're still going to basically get one shot at, if not lose over 3/4 of your health. But in any event, that was a pretty crappy match, so I'll hop back into that at a later point. Maybe next up here. But I don't know how that guy shot me. Like, yeah, I was kind of in front of him, but you really don't take shots like that if you're going to hit your own player. So the T95 definitely limited in what it can do, to say the least. I'm going to be heading over to this side because really fighting in the center here, you're not that good, because you're going to be getting hit by arty. You're going to be shot from here, here, potentially here, and there's not really anywhere to go. Hello, nice cuppa. Nice to see you again. Good morning. I forget where you're at in the world, since it's a pretty late afternoon where I'm at. Otherwise, though, heading over to this side, I can't push there because too many flanks, bad terrain. I could sit back here, but pretty useless as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to head over to the town side, and hopefully these two guys are going to hold this area. I'm going to be able to hold this corner, and should work out decently, but we'll see how the hill goes, since we're starting to lose some tanks here, and doesn't look like they have any threat of losing their tanks. But at least we have an IS-4 and an E-100 there. And unfortunately, since T95 is the slowest tank in the game, you're gonna... oh god. Alright, so we lost the Tiger 2 here. He's gonna burn down. Looks like these two guys pulled back. So really now we're outnumbered on the hill, outnumbered in the town. Yeah. Seems like a story that has happened many times before. Now, since the T95 is so slow, I'm honestly not going to push out as far as you might usually do over here. Just no real point in me pushing too far out, but I will try, although this guy, he's smart to pull back because I can pull back there. Okay, I forgot her. Yeah, I knew you were from somewhere over there, but yeah, nice to know you're from Australia. I actually played the Australian tank, the AC-1. Yeah, of course I hit the freaking edge of that building. Hello, Jerry. Nice to see you again. Alrighty now. Definitely, I have no clue why that E4 is sitting there. Now I have this T57 potentially there. Really, T95, it's a crapshoot based on how well your team does and also what map you get. I'm not terribly annoyed that I got this map. It's just now I'm being flanked and there's not really much I can do about it. Whew, thank you for tracking that E100 though. Not that it's gonna do me any good whatsoever. Yay, I got one shot off. Yay. But really, the T95 is a tank I don't play too much because it is so hit or miss. If you try to grind through it, especially in the current state of the game where a lot of matches and tanks are more based around mobility, is what kind of the current meta is. It is frustrating to play the tank destroyers on the American line outside of the tier 10s. They are good, and even the mid-tier ones, but definitely a little difficult playing through them many games at a time. So I'm going to pop over to the IS-7. Thank you, Dutchman. Glad you like my videos. If there's any specific tanks or questions you have, I'll gladly play or answer them. Skipping the 150mm and T95, really that's up the player personally. I know a lot of people do that to skip the grind. Really, if you're not going to keep the T95 and you don't want to use a free experience or prolong the grind, I would say see how you like the T95 first, and if you're not really enjoying it, then you might want to skip it, but the larger gun, basically the top gun on the T95, is what makes that tank what it is. Without it, really, you're not experiencing what the T95 is, because without that 750 alpha damage, it's not exactly a fearful tank in a way. People just push in and flank you. Yep, greetings from the US here. Alright, so IS-7, I have no idea where I want to go since there's 3 tier 10 tank destroyers. Honestly, I'm probably just going to head to this side, so I don't think too many people are going to head over here. Unfortunately, I don't play on the Russian server. I can't read your name, unfortunately, since it's in Acrylic, I believe. I play on the North American server. The new patch, I like it a lot, Nice Cuppa. I like the sounds, the physics. I like, they don't really change too much. Except for that one match on my last stream where I got stuck on my side for about 5 minutes and nobody would help tip me over. But Dutchman, yeah, I heard about the Lorraine exchange. I'm actually kind of annoyed about it because I just got the Lorraine back. I repurchased it since it was on sale, and I like their Lorraine. Yes, it's a little bit large, and it doesn't fit into the rest of the line as far as its design goes, except for the autoloader, but really, I don't think there's too much wrong with the Lorraine. Yeah, sorry, yeah, unfortunately, since I am streaming, I can't use a translator, but thanks for watching. Wish I knew some Russian. Definitely would make my job a lot easier for a lot of things, but yeah. But yeah, getting back to the Lorraine, the new Bat Chat Tier 9 that they're thinking about replacing Lorraine with, honestly, its current stats are pretty freaking terrible compared to the Lorraine. And it's just unfortunate because the Lorraine's not a bad tank, honestly. But hopefully they end up buffing that Bat Chat. The stat wise, it's terrible as far as its penetration, aiming time, overall accuracy. Really, it's just a crappy up-tiered or down-tiered Bat Chat in a way. But if they end up balancing it a little bit, I don't think it'll be a bad change. It's just really they shouldn't really mess with the stats too much. Alright, there's that 183. Hello, Kid Nerf. I was being a little bit too aggressive there with that guy. Unfortunately, I can't push into him, and I'm just banking on the other side, honestly, to do well. Hello, GG. Yeah, essentially the tank they're looking to replace the Lorraine with, it's just worse in almost every regard, honestly. Like, yes, it's faster, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with the Lorraine right now as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to catch you. I was kind of hoping someone was going to track him. Crap, we just lost another tank. I don't know. I was really hoping that other side would push hard. They had an advantage. Like, yes, I know we're defending on assault, but still. Not that I think we're still in a good chance to win this. It's just until I poke out and die here. I'm just very concerned because it's just me and this T-62A. There is an E4 over here, however. He's very vulnerable to artillery. Alright. Ooh. Good job there. Yep, no luck with penetrating that guy. He does poke out at times, but he picks the right time when I'm reloading. Really, since there's no reason for us to push out here, honestly. Just trying to... Yep, that's a bad shot. Just trying to keep giving small shots for my SPGs. Keep them shooting. I do have Skype, but unfortunately, probably can't understand you and you can't understand me. Still don't know who your name is, though. That's great. You're on spring break, GG. Finally got to tier 9, that's great as well. Yeah, foreplay. Definitely a little bit better stream so far. First couple matches in the T20 prototype and T95 didn't go well, but overall I'm having a good time so far. I've just always played on a North American server. There's honestly no reason for me to switch over to any other server since my account here. It's kind of scary how much money I have put into this game at times. Alright, I was trying to see if I could spot someone here, and at least I got the 183. I was hoping to spot that waffle tracker. But yeah, I apologize. Probably at the end of the stream, I'm gonna be pretty exhausted. I spent my No, Dutchman. I play North American server. I do have accounts on the European and also Southeast Asia server, but I don't exactly play on them. I just use them to post on the forum. But today I spent a good 6 hours digging a few 30 feet by or 30 feet and 1.5 foot deep trenches in my yard today. Lots of yard work. Pretty exhausted from that. Alright, so we're doing pretty decent here. That Waffle Tracker's on the other side. So is that 183. He could come back, but I'm going to make a little bit of a... It's not that risky, honestly, at this point in the game. I'm just going to push up here. So yeah, I apologize if I get a little exhausted, which I still need to update my image on my social media sites and also my website, walkguru.com and menzgaming.com. The stream the next stream basically is not going to be this Friday. It's going to be this Saturday instead. Oh, I wish I had an account on every server too that I could play. It's just, I think I calculated, since I've been playing World of Tanks for several years now, I calculated how many hours I've actually spent in World of Tanks, and honestly, I think total in game spent a good 2.5 months in game. That's a lot of time on one account. Yeah, it's definitely nice being able to sit down and play some games after working hard. Today was technically my day off, so... Ooh, setting him on fire. I gotta be a little careful here, so... hopefully get around him. There we go. Only because my armor... IS-7, of course, great armor on the front, but it's not exactly the thickest, so a Hess shell will do a lot of damage to me. Ooh, my FPS is dropping a little bit there. Still have artillery to worry about. Hopefully this E4 can catch that T-62A. But yeah, getting back to the stream, I need to update my image, of course, but yeah, I'm going to be streaming this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of Friday like it says now, and I did last week. Hopefully that's going to hold for the next couple weeks. It should work with my schedule. Alright, never mind. I'm not going to get that artillery in time. But tonight I will be streaming till 8 p.m., maybe a little bit longer. We'll see how things go and end up. Alright, so I'm just driving around here. Yeah. Maybe I should have went towards artillery, but really, doesn't mean. But yeah, unfortunately, now's not the time for me to try to pronounce anything in Russian. I'm bad enough for pronouncing stuff. Trying to do my best focusing to do decent since I had some pretty bad luck last stream. Alright, so Mastery Badge 3rd class. Even 3,000 damage, not too bad. Satisfies my OCD for even numbers. Blocked a little bit, assisted with a bit. I'll take that match. Thank you, Dutchman. That's kind of weird, GG. They didn't really change much, so it's a little odd. So why don't I hop into the Lorraine? If anyone has any specific tanks they'd like me to play, please mention them. Helps me kind of pick tanks since I wander aimlessly through my tanks picking at random. But yeah, go figure. After not owning the Lorraine for like 2+ years, once I buy it back, they're thinking of replacing it. Dutchman, GG, the only thing I can recommend to you is doing a fresh install. Sometimes that helps after you have a game for so long and it keeps patching it. World of Tanks does act a little bit weird after that, depending on how many patches. But Dutchman, I stream here on YouTube because, cross my fingers, a couple times it's been on my end, but quality-wise, it's better here on YouTube. I can do, essentially here on YouTube, I can do 1080p, 30 frames per second for people, and all the way down it lets you adjust your quality a lot more than Twitch does, especially since a lot of people on Twitch, and if I stream there I wouldn't be a partner as well. If you're not a partner on Twitch, quality options kind of suck. But here on YouTube, I can go all the way up to 1080p 30 frames per second. Twitch, I'd be at 720p 30 frames per second. Potentially 60, but usually 30 frames per second. It's just the back end on YouTube here, especially since I'm a partner with YouTube, is a lot better. And really, I just like to keep things on all one place. It's easy for me just to have YouTube, and then I have my websites. So it's a little easier on my end as well. Especially with setting up streams, I like that I can schedule things here a little bit better and keep it on my channel page. And also just click a button if I'm ever playing and it goes live automatically for me on YouTube here. Twitch, you have to set things up a little bit differently. Unfortunately, I don't have the T49. I do have the Walker Bulldog now, so I can hop into that. But I can play the 183 and T92 Nice Cuppa. I'll gladly hop into that, which I'm going to take some damage here. Fantastic. I'm probably going to regret staying out here as long as I am, but I'm going to hope that this artillery does not whack me, which McCoy is bouncing quite a bit of shots here. And that didn't work. Sometimes I like with some tanks with somewhat poor accuracy and bloom, and especially autoloaders, I'll kind of push up a little bit past where I want to be, pull back into my shot so I don't have to exactly fiddle left and right. Essentially, I'll just pull up, say this guy, and then pull back, take my shot just as my tank is switching directions. I find that helps me. Doesn't help everybody, but I think using your tank at times doing that makes it a little bit easier to hit things. Granted, I bounced a lot. You're welcome, Foreplay. My internet greatly appreciates it too, which I am very glad I did not end up cutting my cable line when I was... it's like I had everything marked out, and really my internet wire, which for anyone who has Comcast will basically know what I'm talking about. I really hate Comcast. My cable line was about 15 feet closer to where I was planning to dig than it should have been. And I almost ended up cutting it, and there was going to be no stream tonight. So we got a little bit lucky there. But yeah, I can gladly hop into the 183, T92. If you'd like me to play the Bulldog, I can. Otherwise, I can hop into those tier 10s, Doug. I don't have the... I think that's the Jagged Tiger. I know you're on your phone, so that's why it tries to autocorrect you a lot. Don't have that, unfortunately. I'll kind of do a little scroll through of my tanks, just to give everyone a general sense of what I have. So we're doing decent. We're still behind because we got obliterated in our... Okay, I need to rein myself in here for this E100. Ooh, I don't know if I want to hit that. Alright, so this guy... Should I do it? Should I do it? How the hell did that happen? I got destroyed. Nice job, E100, for baiting me in. That was very poor on my part. But I was not expecting to die that quick. But I should have just did it. But I was worried I was gonna slide down the hill and ram into the E100 that would have destroyed me. As far as the tanks I own, let me start here just so everyone can see here. Yeah, I have the same thing, foreplay. I had to do that a couple months ago, getting like a gas line in, and I marked down where everything was, so in the future, like today, I knew where everything was. And yeah, unfortunately, Comcast decided to put the wire somewhere else from where they marked it. But really, it could have turned out worse, but everything turned out right. Alright, so just scrolling through my tanks here, that way everyone knows what I have. Some of these tanks here at the end, starting with the Cunningham, if it's not a premium tank, sometimes I don't have a crew for it. But in any event, these are the tanks I have. I'm going to hop into the 183mm after this. I'm going to do my best to keep track of all the tanks people are suggesting here. And we ended up losing Lorraine. Alright, so I'm going to play 183mm T92. Yeah, I can play the E100. IS6, T1 T1 E4, E5, IS4. Unfortunately, I don't have a T32. I do have a T29 Simon, or I have the T34. Alright, so the 183mm here, we're playing defense. I don't exactly like playing defense on assault for Siegfried Line here. I like attacking, only because I feel like the attackers, since they're pushing up the hill, I like pushing into the town instead of figuring out where I need to push out of the town, if that makes sense. I'm going to try to stick on the left side here. That depends, though, if this T32 and E5 stay over here, which it doesn't seem like it. Alright, so yeah, that guy's... I like how he says we lost, and he's completely ditching this side. And I missed my small window of opportunity to take a shot there. I knew it was going to be close, but... Here's the hoping their M53, M55s in the north, which usually artillery I find spawns in the northern spawn when there's only one or two of them. I'm spotted by... Yep, I was about to say I'm spotted by somebody. And let's go figures that he's T22 medium. Hoo hoo hoo! Damn! He deserves that. Sorry, it's most people who have that tank rigged to get it. But damn, I nailed that guy. Yeah, I can definitely play the TOG 2 at some point. Like I said, I'm going to do my best trying to keep track of all the tanks people suggest. Yeah, I don't know about that foreplay, only because I haven't used TeamSpeak in quite some time. Alright, this Tiger 2 doesn't look like he's pushing that way. I really wish I had an AP shell for him, but whew! It's another great shot there. Always shoot the turret if you're using Hesh, because the side armor is almost all spaced armor. I got a little lucky with that shot, I'll be honest, but I was hoping for AP, but I'd take that Hesh shell any day. Alright guys, this is IS3 gonna push around for me here. And of course he does, just as I move a little bit. Thanks Luis. Or Lewis. Sorry. I know a Luis, and that just came out a little wrong there. Glad you like my website and videos. Nice talking to you here. trying to figure out how we can... Unfortunately, he disappeared, so I don't know exactly where he is. I just need to do something, but unfortunately, not having too much luck here, and this bat chat's being a pain in the ass, and so this 50B, I gotta blow my repair kit in. Yeah, oh well, I'm dead. Hell, I was trying my best there, but unfortunately 183, it's armor. Even though it got rebalanced, I'll say, even though it was a nerf, to be more heavily armored, its armor still isn't great. It's usable in some cases, but really you're going to get damaged almost every time someone shoots you. Alright, so anyway, let's move on here. Hopefully our team does well, but we're still a little bit behind there. So hopefully that comes out as a win, since so far tonight, haven't really been doing well in the win department. That Lorraine match didn't really go too well, but alright, so let's hop into a T92. That was next on the list here. But yeah, everything I do as far as guides, videos, and whatnot, mainly do just to help people. That's why I started my website. I started out as a free blog spot and made the jump to a website. But starting out, really, I had no clue what I was doing, and still kind of don't know what I'm doing at times, but still just do it to help people out. It's like I definitely don't do this for money, since pretty much any money I make, it was just minimal after doing, as far as my website, I have hosting costs and basically having my URL and everything on the back end, and also keeping my computer up to date to the best I can. And there's not too much, but usually I fold it back in to be able to say buy premium tanks, and also fix my broken equipment, since I've gone through about 4 microphones since I've started so far. But any help is appreciated, since a few people, since I started taking donations semi-recently, have helped me out, especially Uber Duver Nuver. Thanks again, buddy. I know you don't like me thanking you, but thank you. But I take donations through PayPal and also through fan funding on a lot of my videos. You'll see a little button in the upper right hand corner. There's a PayPal link in my video description, but hopefully this year I'm going to be able to... I tried kind of on a private stream to stream World of Warships again, since I was having trouble with that, since World of Warships is using a lot of CPU. I was having trouble streaming, and unfortunately I'm still trying to figure a workaround without completely gimping my graphics all the way. But I'm hoping to beef up my PC at the end of the summer here. That way I'm able to stream World of Warships again. Hello, Martian Spy. Yes, I do have the STB1. I can play that. Okay, so I missed there. I'm trying to get far south here. Ooh, someone nailed that T-30. At first, honestly, since I was talking a lot, I thought I was in a regular tank, and I was just driving along, and I had no idea where I was going. I looked down, I'm like, holy shit, I'm in the T-92. Like, why am I driving to the center of the map? Here's the hoping I can get a shot in T-28. I do like setting up down here in artillery, usually quicker artillery, since you have some unique shots. There we go. Not a lot of damage, but helps them out a little bit. I did just get spotted since I fired, though. But you have pretty good shots setting up down here. You can't be spotted unless people push across. I'm gonna hope. And unfortunately, these guys are close enough to spot me, which is not good, to say the least. Whoopsie doodle. Alright, so I really want to shoot into the town, but unfortunately I cannot. I have the IS-4 nice Kappa. Yeah, as far as I know, PayPal can be a little iffy at times, but really unfortunately my options are there's Google Merchant Wallet and also PayPal. There's two different options if you'd like to donate. By any means, I had a couple people asking or saying they'd like to donate to me, but they needed to ask their mom. I'm not strapped for cash. It just helps me out a little bit financially, since, as many of you know, if you're married or have a fiance or something, a little hard justifying spending money when you buy your first house on internet tank game when you're looking to buy stuff like bathroom remodeling. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I don't really have shots there. Yeah, I'm not going to have any more shots. Didn't really do much here, but I definitely freaked those guys out down there when they spotted me for the second time. They're like, holy shit, there's a T-92 down here. But yeah, I'm not too concerned with like people messing with me with PayPal. I figure if someone's nice enough to donate, hopefully they're not trying to screw around, but usually yeah, I don't know, I can't really get into that too much. I'm trying to focus on streaming here, but yeah, I am knowing what you're saying. I've definitely looked into it, and I have a couple things in place to hopefully where that won't happen to me. But in any event, pretty crap damage here. Didn't really do too much. Granted, I didn't even know I was playing a T-92 in the first place. I apologize for that. Whoever suggested I play this, since I was focused a little bit more on talking. So let's hop into the E100 here. And then after that, I'll hop into the IS-4, IS-6. I agree with you there. Or I'll say my girlfriend agrees with you there. To an extent. It's like, I kind of kid a little bit, since really I'm a little bit lucky, since she definitely enjoys that. It gives a little bit extra money to work with doing stuff from my website and the videos here. So it is justified a little bit. I never overspend to where I'm in the red, since tax-wise, through and through, I run everything pretty much like a business. So I do it to keep track of everything and make sure I'm not exactly basically just spending away. It makes no sense, since all in all, it is a business through and through. Granted, it's just sole employee here. Who knows though? Been trying to bug. Been trying to bug my girlfriend to try to play one night on a stream to see how interesting it would be. I'm just curious seeing someone who has never played the game before hop into tanks, and I'll try to walk and give little tips here or there. It would just be a little interesting. But in any event, E100 here definitely helps that there's no artillery. This is kind of an expensive tank to run, since you do use a lot of heat on it, but armor-wise, very good. You just have to remember to angle your, well, A, hide your lower plate, but also angle your turret front a little bit. Yeah, of course I gotta cook, since I'm a professional chef. I pretty much do all the cooking at home. She does all the baking, since I don't particularly like baking that much. Like I took a year of baking through culinary school. All right, so was not expecting to get hit by a 268. I guess he is up there, and unfortunately, he's a TD and has pretty good. All right, so that's not gonna work out. But yeah, it took a year of baking, but baking's not exactly my forte. I kind of like, for lack of better words, winging it at times, and baking's not exactly winging it. Alright, so I'm not doing exactly too well, since I've got these guys up here, which is a little annoying because we should be able to. I'm trying to angle, but unfortunately I'm getting hit by several different locations. I'm gonna have to pull back a little bit more because our other side here needs to push, to be honest. But yeah, I'm getting a little frustrated here because I'm pretty much being hung out to dry because we have everybody just sitting back there. I got a decent hit there, but he's just spamming through. I'm not angling my turret. Alright there. Thank you, program, for doing another pop-up and making Lee not be able to play the game. And I'm dead. Yeah, that was really bad positioning on my part, but also all these guys back here. I know why they're sitting back there, but our whole team's concentrated here. These guys could easily push up, but I don't know. Yeah, I could see where that would be pretty fun, Dutchman. Okay, no thanks. I got my own clan. Alright, so let's hop into, I think I said IS-4, and then I'm going to play the IS-6 after this. I'll mix in the TOG-2, and then I'll play a couple other tier 10s and STB-1. But yeah, in the E100, the turret's definitely your weakest part, because since there's so many premium rounds currently in the game, people just kind of spam right through it. You almost always have to keep it angled. It's just kind of unfortunate because really the E100 is difficult to play, even with if the turret was strong. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad tier 10, but really in that case, your armor is pretty much negated, especially with people flinging heat and APCR at you in a tier 9 or a tier 10. But need to focus a little bit more on the game now. I do my best to keep up on chat. Sometimes I'm guilty of reading the chat more than playing while I'm streaming, since I try to do stream battles like I am twice a week here, and also non-stream battles where I can focus a little bit more on the game. But in IS-4 here, like usual, I like playing on the 1 to 3 line on this map. Sometimes I go to the hill or the 7-8 line, but more often than not, I like playing on the 1 to 3 line. I think it gives me a little bit more flexibility. I don't mind playing the TOG, Simon. Mainly because you can also fire into... Here we go. You can also fire up into the hill from over here, as you probably know, but I see that as I can help the hill out a little bit, not get shot from it as much. Somebody requested the IS-6, I believe it was Doug, but honestly, IS-6 isn't a bad tank. I think it's a fantastic tank for a premium. Alright, so we're gonna actually need a little bit of help over here. If things keep going this way. Actually, you need help on a lot of sides. One of those classic cases where we're kind of out. Alright, we're kind of outgunned and on the 8 line and also over here. Our side a little less though. Alright, that E100 Alright, he's gonna push actually. That's kind of good. Depends how far he pushes though, to be honest. Okay, I missed my chance there, to be honest. Time for me to be one of those people using premium rounds in E100's turret. If he gives me that chance. I'm not terribly concerned about the guys back there. IS-4's armor is pretty solid all around, especially angled. And at range, it's very difficult for someone to punch through you like that. And that FV, he's not gonna run out of ammo anytime soon, but I know they have pretty low ammo count, so he's definitely blowing through it a little quicker than he probably should be. But I'm gonna stick over here since we went from having a very strong flank to where I'm the only person now on this flank. But this E100's gonna push into me here. I'm gonna angle back a little bit. Alright, here we go. It's gotta be a little concerned, so I'm gonna use that opportunity since he's shot to pull all the way back. And there we go. Pull all the way back to this corner in case I do get pushed by the FV and the AMX CDC. Right, he's angling pretty heavily. He's gonna shoot right there. Really, the IS-6 kind of deserves that penetration. It's like, yeah, you kind of have to use premium rounds to cover that up, but it has great armor and a lot of other things, so if it had better penetration, then it would definitely be a little overpowered for a tier 8 premium that doesn't see any tier 10s. Let's bully this T-54 here, hopefully. I really hope I can bully him and I don't end up dying here. Alright, not too concerned now. This FV isn't gonna push terribly hard. Just keeping myself angled a little bit, and if he was using heat, I'd much rather show a little bit more of my side, so if he did hit me with heat, I'd chance at soaking it up. Yeah, I've tried them before. I have plenty of time in the kitchen to fiddle around with stuff, and that is a combination I have tried before. I would say about half of my concoction do not make it to the general public. But you'd be surprised some things you make in a kitchen. Some things sound completely disgusting and they turn out pretty good. Right, so I thought he was going to pop out here. I guess not. And now he is. Here we go. Of course he has 47 HP. So I'm going to go head this way because he's dead over there. Hello Martin, nice to see you again. But I'll say this turned out to be a pretty damn good match. The IS-4 and IS-7 I think are fantastic tier 10s, and yes, they're Russian bias or whatever, but I like the IS-4 a little bit better in standard matches now than the IS-7. It used to be the other way around. Overall, Mastery Badge 2nd class, High Caliber Award, damage 4,689, decent amount of experience, and I blocked 3,300 damage and assisted with 885. All in all, pretty good match there. So let's move on to the IS-6. Yeah, it's a pretty good combination as far as Sriracha and honey. I particularly like reducing mirin, Japanese sweet cooking wine, and mixing that in with something spicy like hot sauce or Sriracha. You just have to make sure to reduce it enough to make it sticky. In any event here, the IS-6 though, got a little buff to its armor in a recent patch. Hello, waifu son, or son. And some people were saying it's a little overpowered. I thought it was going to be a little bit broken at times. Yep. Thanks for stopping by, Nice Cuppa. Nice chatting with you. I thought it was good. I was one of the people thinking it would be a little bit overpowered in a way, since it is a tier 8 premium with preferential matchmaking with the slight armor buff, but really is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. That guy... Alright, I was going to let you go by. I was about to say, he looks like he's turning left. I just want to stay low. It's not as bad as I thought it would have been. It still has the, like Dutchman pointed out, the lack of penetration unless you switch over to APCR, and a few other little minor chinks in its armor. But it definitely is difficult since you're really just relegated to the hatches or spamming premium if you're in a lower tier against the IS-6. But really the buff just made it difficult for 7s and 6s to fight it, and it didn't really hurt fighting one in a tier 8 or 9 that much. Alright, so hopefully our other side does well. I just got spotted here. I'm going to see... Okay, it's a Cromwell down here so far. So I'm not terribly concerned. Just seeing the amount of people on the other side, I have a feeling this is their weaker flank. And I'm going to be able to hopefully push here pretty hard. Alright, so running into that guy is not what I wanted to see. I'm going to try to get a shot on him, but got myself into a little pickle here now. Alright, just trying to let him ding me. If I knew that the Yaga Tiger 8.8 was over here, I probably wouldn't have pushed this far. But I've kind of made my bed now. Luckily, I do have a T-34 up here. That, without him, I'd be kind of screwed. Alright, it's not tip myself over here, Cody. Alright, it's barely have a shot to penetrate him, but yeah. Nope. Yeah, the penetration is terrible against the OHO, but you can't have everything with a tank. The IS-6 has a lot going for it, and the lack of penetration does hold it back a little bit, but T-34, where are you going? It's like, yeah, I killed this guy, but are you freaking kidding me, dude? Like, you just had to have pushed. Like, yeah, I'm gonna die by the 121 now, but it's like, thanks, dude. Oh well, at least we were gonna win, but still, like, I get what he was trying to do with pushing, but had he just sat there, we still would have ended up flanking them, and yeah. A little lack of teamwork there, but oh well. Hello, Pierre. Alright, so let's see. Tog 2. Whoops, ended up blowing past them there. So I'm going to play the Tog 2 here. And then after that, I'll hop into the STB1, and then I'll play T1 10E3, T1 10E4, T1 10E5. But yeah, IS-6 I think is a great tank. Yes, it's a little lacking in the gun handling department and penetration, but usually you can make up for it with the armor. I was kind of putting myself in a bad spot there with the way I was angling my armor. Really, it made my armor very weak, but once that T-34 ditched me, it was pretty easy for them to push into me there. But yeah, got stuck alone. Usually, in the beginning of any match, aside from if you're in a light tank or something and you're scouting, you really want to at least have one buddy. You don't want to go out alone. And thought I had a little bit of support there, and it turned out kind of ditched me. But in any event, hopefully we win that. We should. If we don't, then something went terribly wrong. But in any event, can't do too much. Really, sometimes I do end up getting myself in bad spots, like pushing there. If I had pushed there, we might have been a little bit of trouble getting flanked ourselves, but sometimes I go places where it might not be the best for my tank. It might not be good for like my win rate 8 or whatever. How people obsess about that, but it does do a benefit for your team. And really, I just play to win the most battles that I can. And usually I play just solo, so sometimes that can be a little difficult. Alright, so I'm gonna take my chances. I thought I might be able to get 2 shots. So I was about to say, I'm going to take my chances with hopefully... this is going to hurt. Pushing out here, but I probably shouldn't have done that. Alright, from what I'm getting hit by there, that's probably that German TD. But I'm a little scared at what is going to be in the middle of the town here. Unfortunately, the TOG 2 does not have any armor whatsoever. You do have hit points, but unfortunately I blew through a lot of my hit points here. I'm going to wait for this Jagged Panther to shoot. Now, hopefully I can help out a little bit. He might be able to hit me here. Whew, barely got my track. That's all I was hoping for. So I'll gladly let him hit my track if we can get him down HP wise. Alright, so that works out pretty well, IS. We got this Cromwell here. One more shot, no. Might as well try my luck there. I'm gonna stick with this guy though, because that T-34, he's gonna need a little bit of help, and I don't want to push through the open in this tank. Oh, one more shot. Just barely got back there in time. Ooh, that's not good for me. Not good at all. There we go. At least that guy has no armor and no HP whatsoever. At least I got a little bit of HP, but he's only got gun and camouflage. Come on. Trying to get up here to help you, T21. But yeah, fortunately you pushed into a tank that was very heavy compared to you. But looks like we're going to win this unless this T-29 and OI pull off something miraculous. But pretty decent battle for a TOG. Like, I got a little bit of trouble in the beginning where I took those few shots from pushing out here in the open by myself. But really, what I try to do in the TOG 2 is just keep it to one tank shooting me. Because once you get to 2, then your HP advantage is gone. Really, surprisingly for a tank this big, your strength is your gun, and your gun alone. You don't have armor, and you don't have speed. The specs on my PC, Orlando, like I built this, I forget how long I built this, probably once I started playing World of Tanks, but I have... Which my problem is my CPU. I have an i5 2500K for my CPU, and that's really what's holding me back as far as streaming a little bit. It's a decent battle here, and a decent amount of damage. So why don't I hop in to the SCB1 and then the E, or the T110s. But I have an i5 2500K for my CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and for my GPU, let's see, I have a GTX 680 think it's classified. It basically has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, which helps out significantly. Even though it's a slightly older card, it does keep up with pretty much anything I chuck at it. The only thing holding me back is kind of my CPU, but hopefully by the end of this summer, or maybe slightly early into the fall, I'm going to be building myself a second PC, since I need to get a second one regardless. I'd like one for my website and editing and one just for gaming, but hopefully going to be getting one with a bit better CPU and graphics card. I'm going to keep it the same most likely. I have a GTX 560 Ti I have sitting around. Since initially when I built my PC, I had 2 GTX 560 Ti's SLI together, and then I switched over to this GPU later on. But holy crap, yeah, 3 T57s. That's gonna be a little scary. I guess I'm gonna head to the hill though. But hopefully once I get my new PC built, just kind of waiting for the war chest to replenish here, since winter where I live is a little bit tough. I'll be able to stream World of Warships again. I'm hoping to get a few regular videos out for that. I was a little bit busier than I thought this past week, so I wasn't able to play it. But I'm just also having a little bit of hard time getting back into World of Warships, since ever since the most recent patches, it's just so torpedo and destroyer oriented. It's not fun to play the game above tier 6 anymore. But it's just something I hope they fix, because I love the naval setting. It's just they kill carriers, and now they're killing pretty much everything other than destroyers in a sense. And yeah, I know they're adding in radar, but it's still, I don't think it's large enough to bring me back on a consistent basis right now. Holy crap. T-57s are on the hill, potentially. Holy shit balls. This is gonna be a ugly bloodbath, potentially. Really hope these guys are careful that they're not gonna stick out too much in front of these guys. Thank you for dinging for me. Alright, so watch out over here. We're about to get flanked a little bit to our left, it looks like. Hopefully the rest of our team does well. Our 1 to 3 line should be pretty damn well. I completely whiffed there. That was a bad shot on my part. I'm just hesitant to push up. Yeah, I guess I will, since just need to pick my battles here. I swapped over to heat. Not that I think it's a huge leg up over to APCR the STB1 has, but holy crap, dude. I know what you're trying to do, but let me get my one shot and I would have been on my way. Alright. Yeah, I can get to the Bulldog, Simon, and the AMX. I'm going to play a couple T1 tanks since Doug requested them, and then I'll gladly hop over to them. Alright, so let's help out these guys a little bit. Get this guy to turn his turret, and I have a heat round unfortunately, but it doesn't matter too much in that sense. I was hoping to dodge that shot. It didn't work out. And of course I hit the ground, but the STB1, of course, not great in the gun handling department, but it does have a crap ton of DPM, fortunately. Come on, 183, there you go. Alright, so this Waffle Tragger, I thought he might try to push, but nope. So, Went better than I thought, honestly, for the hill here. Definitely helped with having our 183 and also Waffle Tracker up on the hill, but it definitely could have went either way. But fortunately, those T-57s didn't really work together very well, even though they're a platoon. Handbrake. I'm still reminding myself that there's a handbrake now. It's still, like, magical to me sometimes. Really? You just had to switch sides. No, I hit a little bit of rubble. And he's dead, but still. I was hoping to get him, but he definitely took the right path there. The STB-1 is a great medium, though. It's just sometimes with the gun handling, I tend to rush the shots a half second too soon. You have to let your gun settle a little bit more than other tier 10 medium tanks. Yay! It worked there, though. I'm very glad it worked, or else I would have took a pretty big shot in my side. So decent mastery badge, second class there. 2,700 damage, most amount of experience. Assisted with a little bit, and also blocked a little bit, surprisingly. But I'll take it. All right, so let's start out with the T1 10E5 here, which I have about 45 minutes left in the stream. So after the E5, E3, E4, I'm going to play the Bulldog. If there's any other tanks anyone would like me to play, I probably have time to fit a couple more in. Otherwise, I'll be streaming. The next time I'm streaming is Saturday. I'm going to be updating the image, hopefully either tonight or tomorrow. That's on my website and also Facebook for wattguru.com and also menzgaming.com. But I'm going to, right now it still says Friday. I'm going to be streaming Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I actually just finished the T-37 Orlando. Took me quite a while since I'm not too good at grinding tanks anymore, because I like to play basically a different tank each match. I rarely play the same tank one after another. The AT2 foreplay, honestly, the tank line it's not the easiest tank line to play after the AT2, but nonetheless, once you get the top guns on each one of those TDs, they're fantastic to play. And honestly, I think the best tank in that line is probably the Tortoise. I would go with. Maybe no, I shouldn't even shot there. Oh yeah, I'm running war packs. I find it hilarious when people complain about people cheating a lot of times when it's just like you getting lucky. It's like, I'll admit I get lucky a lot of times, but everybody does. It's kind of World of Tanks. Like, yeah, would it be nice not having as much random number generator as far as penetration and your accuracy? Yeah, but I get why it's there at times, but at the same time, not everything is cheating at times. Sometimes you just simply get lucky. I'm curious where they're pushing that side. Since there's no artillery, I guess I can focus a little bit more on that side than I usually do. Definitely need to help them out since there's a T-57 here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna get out. Ooh, I was about to say, I thought I'd get hit a little harder there. But, definitely wanted to help my team out there. Instead of them being bogged down and me being bogged down, best to help out groups of your team to free them up. There's this, never mind, that bat chat's no longer there. No shot there. Hello, Magnus. Nice for you to join us. You seem pretty excited. If there's any specific tanks you'd like me to play, I'll gladly hop into them once I get through the list of the ones I already have. Yeah, I don't run any modifications whatsoever. Like, I have nothing against a lot of mods as far as people like using them. It's just I myself don't particularly like messing around with mods, and I don't feel like I need them in a lot of cases. Yeah, they might help me out a little bit, but really I like the game how it is, and I think it provides me enough information to do what I need to do. Alright. Yeah, I haven't used... The only modification really I ever used before was Jimbo's crosshair mod. Ooh, I got whacked by artillery. I guess he heard me say that there was no artillery in this match, which I often end up saying. Sometimes I see one artillery, I just forget that it's there, because the chances of artillery hitting you when there's only one is pretty low. So I just kind of pretend like there isn't artillery at times when it's like that. Yeah, I was getting beat up a little bit, so... of course I hit him. Wrong spot there. Granted, I have a feeling he's using heat there. God damn it. Why'd I shoot him right there? I wanted to hit him a little bit higher, honestly. Doesn't help that my gun's damaged, so I was going for a spot where, okay, I'm gonna die now. I've completely forgot about that bad chat. Alright. Now there's the bulldog, which he can't kill me in one hit, I think. Woo. No. Somebody help me. Hello, gamer from heck. Thank you. I'd like to think I'm a decent human being. And of course I missed. But yeah, I'll definitely admit, I only watch a few people streaming other than... Yeah, I don't really watch myself. That would be a little weird if I watched all my own things. There's only a few people I end up watching, and on a consistent basis for me is like once a week. It is kind of hard to find people making videos and streaming that aren't a little immature. And I do get a lot of people essentially... In any event, let me go over this first. Mastery Badge for second class, Steel Wall Award, got a Spartan Award. Damage-wise, a little under 3,000. Block 3,800 damage as well. Not too bad. And he gets hopping to the E3. But yeah, there's Quickie Baby, there's Jingles, and also Rita. I like watching mainly Rita. I find she's entertaining to watch. And also Jingles at times. I don't exactly like Quickie Baby though. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, there's just a slight 30-second delay on my stream. I do my best to keep up with the chat. But I always try to interact with people as much as I can. But honestly, like, since I do have a lot of data as far as what I get from Google and Google Analytics, would it help me a little bit to be one of those immature people and cursing a lot? Yes. It definitely, the demographics kind of slightly weight towards that as far as people watching live streams and whatnot, but I really don't care. I just like helping people out, being myself, having a fun time playing the game. Yes, I do like performing very well at times, but I also like having fun nonetheless, and doing some stupid things at times, where I probably shouldn't do in matches if I'm trying to do decent as far as winning and doing damage. But, yeah, it's like, it's kind of interesting, because World of Tanks is one of those kind of few games where, like, since I see the back end of my website and also videos, you get, actually most of the people who play World of Tanks and look up stuff are people 30 or older, and surprisingly, the large chunk of that is 40 to 60 years old for World of Tanks, which playing several clans and also talking to a lot of you guys, I can kind of see that. I thoroughly enjoy a game where you're not playing with younger players. Not that not all young players are like that, and unfortunately, because I used to fall in a demographic, because I started playing Call of Duty when I was young, and I was one of those players. It's definitely nice not being in a game where you're playing with a lot of immature players. Alright, let's see what I can do here. I'm definitely going to take one lick from this E5, but I think it's well worth it. Pop him there, and basically extend our flank out a little bit here. His T-54 is going to be next up if he doesn't pull back. He's got 3 seconds, although, yeah, I just got nailed, and I'm going to die here now. Or not. No, I might die here. Definitely lost a lot of HP there from the Yaga Tiger and E100. I wasn't expecting all of these guys to pop over to my side, but it's not exactly a bad thing. Fortunately, I'm gonna wait to see if that Yaga Tiger shoots one more time. And he did. He killed me. Unfortunately, I think that one little nudge put out a lot. Oh well. I got killed there. Hopefully we end up winning, but I thought my lower glacis was hidden, but obviously it wasn't. Yeah, unfortunately I don't Magnus. I do have the Bulldog though. I'm not picking on anyone's age here. Like, I really enjoy, and most of the people throughout the years I've played World of Tanks and the clans I've been with, I like playing with people basically 30 and up. To be honestly, it's like, even though I'm 25, I don't sound 25 a lot of times, nor do I act 25. People usually think I'm older than I am. It's definitely a nice thing that World of Tanks and Wargaming kind of caters more towards the older crowd. Even though, surprisingly, I saw it in my local newspaper. I posted it on my Facebook for Watt Guru about a week ago. Someone who lives basically 5 minutes away from me. I know him. I don't know him personally, but my girlfriend actually teaches him. He's going to Warsaw, hopefully, if the school allows him, because he's missed quite a few days of school. He's going to Warsaw for the Wargaming Esports League final over there. His team won the North American server branch of that. But I saw that in my paper, local kid going to Warsaw or Poland or whatever for Internet Tanks game. I'm like, what? They better not be talking about me. I thought I was the only one, but small world. Hello, Neil. But yeah, I like to have fun with games, and I feel like, even though I am 25, I don't act really 25, mainly because I do manage a kitchen, and I work with a lot of older people, so I kind of had to grow up earlier, or else I was going to be the little kid that nobody liked. You definitely don't seem 14, Orlando, if you are that. Yeah, I've worked pretty much since I was 12 years old, I think. Since family hotel restaurant business. And no gun depression! I love the E3 for its gun depression. Don't love the E4 at times for its lack of gun depression. Definitely have to be concerned, because I feel that GW, E100, and FB207 aiming at me here. I'll admit there is already in this match, since there's more than one. It's Type 4 Heavy, which this is going to be Ooh, he... God damn it. I thought that other guy was going to follow the same line. That was a pretty big mistake there, I'll admit. Yeah. It's nice talking with a lot of you guys, though. Like, I hear a lot of you guys at times say you watch me at work too, which I kind of find a little funny because when I think about work, like I'm in a kitchen, no TV, lucky to have music on, and at times I'm like, holy shit, I really wish that I could watch, say, a stream at work. If I did, I might get made fun at. Because most of the people I work with are like really heavy into like sports and stuff, and trying to talk about a video game to most of them, they'd be like, oh, what? That's pretty cool, Jerry. Yeah, learning curve, I find in World of Tanks is probably the biggest factor in the lack of... I'm about to die here. Fortunately, it looks like we're going to end up winning now. Is the lack of player retention. I think if they did a better job with helping new players out in a way, learn the game, and make it a little bit more simple. And by simple, I honestly think tiers 1 to 3 are not doing the game a very good service because they play a lot differently than other tanks. Alright, I said I'm trying to remember the tank after... I think I'd say I play the... Gotta scroll here. I think I would say... I looking back through the chat's hard at times. I think I said I play the Walker Bulldog. If I'm wrong, though, I'll gladly hop into something if I forgot someone's request earlier. But, yeah, I can play the KV2 Orlando. Whew, not a great map for me here, but I'll make it work. Yeah, I actually thought about starting something as far as cooking videos for YouTube and also a website, but maybe a couple years down the line. I kind of need to get my kitchen at home a little bit more presentable. Everything's functional, but definitely need to tidy things up a little bit. Everything's kind of how the old people had it. And by old, I guess mean previous owners. Don't want to offend anybody here. Previous owner of my house. It looks a little funky still in the kitchen, but everything at least works now. Okay, so I might get myself in a little bit of trouble here, but okay, no. Oh, thank God he missed me. That would have been bad. I'm just gonna take him out there so I can hopefully get a little bit of help here. Oh crap, he doesn't even have the big gun. Never mind. I'm not in any trouble. Well, now I am. But I'm just gonna back up. Now I'm in trouble. No! Yeah, I'm dead now. The first T-49, I'm like, why doesn't he have the big gun? Second one, I'm like, shit. But I was thinking that those two guys over there would have pushed up with us, but they kind of chickened out. But I was hoping to back on up over there so I was safe, but didn't get there in time. The King of Dirt, Magnus. As far as... at least we won the E3 battle. As far as probably the tier for tier, the best quote-unquote dirt dirt tank currently in World of Tanks, it would probably would be the OI or the KV2 still, but the 183 is definitely up there, which, drawing a blank, okay, KV2. I'm like, what tank did I say I'd play next? Alright. I have no idea what Tumblr is, honestly. I kinda do, but I don't. Yeah. as far as making money on YouTube, it's definitely something where, like, I get asked all the time. I can't divulge how much money I make as far as it's a rule that Google makes you sign, but it's not as much as people would make you believe unless you're one of the like the huge people, say like Jingles or Quickie Baby. But it is enough to pay what you kind of put in as far as your equipment and for at least my websites running the servers and whatnot, and to have a little bit of wiggle room to buy a like I bought the AC1 today, Australian tank, to buy a premium tank every couple months. But as far as derp tanks, the 183 I think is a little bit on the wayside now. Ever since they changed the Hesh a while ago, it's not as good as it used to be. Granted, it was a little bit broken when it first came out, but I still like the KV2 to be honest. Just something about it works. I don't know what it is at times, but it just kind of works at times. I really remember when I first was playing World of Tanks, being in back then the KV, facing off against Tier 9, sometimes 10 tanks in it. And it was kind of funny being in those higher tiers, even though you're this puny little Tier 5 tank, because it used to be Tier 5 at the KV back then. People would still... Whoops, sorry, I definitely screwed that up. People would focus you sometimes because you're that little tank and you have this big HE thrower, and it was kind of funny to see. I definitely would focus KV2s because might as well take out that low HP tank. Alright, so our other side is getting blasted. We need to push. I'm going to push with this T-34. Really, as far as what you make per views, it is heavily weighted on your what type of content you push out. Okay. Come on, amen. At least I got a hit there. But damn, we lost a whole flank really quickly there. Yeah, sometimes, like, people kind of say that jokingly at times, like Stalin guide my shots, but it honestly feels like that sometimes in the KV2. Like, no joke. Yeah, I was hoping I might get lucky there. The rest of our team seems to be doing pretty well pushing back the cap, so I'm gonna let them do that. And I'm gonna use my big old gun, hopefully, and take him out. Dead on. For a very inaccurate tank, it is very accurate at times. Alright, so I have a little over 20 minutes here. I'll definitely hop into the E3 again since that was a pretty crappy match back then. Otherwise, if there's any other tanks anyone would like me to play, feel free to mention them before I kind of run out of time. I'm going to be running to about 8 p.m. Potentially maybe a hair bit longer, but I'm getting a little exhausted here since I was working outside right before this. Like, I literally finished my yard work for the day. Oh crap, that's not good. Like 20 minutes before I came on here. Hoping that oh god. Like, hoping that I'm hitting here, but... Ooh, that's a nice shot. Damn, he got wrecked. And I got wrecked. I did a lot more damage than I thought I did. But doesn't look like we're going to pull that one out, but best of luck to those guys. Alright, so I'm going to hop back into the E3. Otherwise, like I said, feel free to mention mention some tanks, not chats, if I missed them, if anyone mentioned them earlier. Yeah, as far as the T30 heavy tank video, Doug, I always find it funny when people complain about matchmaking now, since I was basically through every iteration of matchmaking in World of Tanks. And it even used to be worse than the 4-tier spread. Used to be greater than that when the game was in beta and also once it released. And hearing people complain about ±2. Yeah, definitely use HE over AP into KV2 unless you're positive that you're able to penetrate someone with the AP. And even then, HE usually works as long as if you don't shoot at the tracks for tanks that you can pen with AP. Alright, so I'm actually going to head to this flank instead of the 1-3 line. Might regret it though. But yeah, the matchmaking, like ±2, I feel like it's fair. Even when you're -2, basically if you're an 8 and a 10 match, you still have enough wiggle room to not hold your own against a tier 10, but definitely perform against a tier 10 and help your team out. Back when it used to be, say, a tier 6 against a 10, that's pushing it a little bit. And even ±3 was pushing it a little bit as well. But I think 2 is a good spread for matchmaking. Holy crap, I'm glad I caught him. Wish I ammo racked him. I love ammo racking IS-7s when they angle like that. Yeah, Chaffee at a tier 10 I didn't mind too much, only because the Chaffee scouts you do pretty well, even when you're up tiered. You just don't focus on damage at all, unless you get behind, say, like a T1 E5. I might take a shot here from this E5. I'm gonna gamble with pushing the envelope a little bit for my team here. I'm just looking to get past here, move the line up a little bit, since I have a feeling we're going to lose one of the other flanks here. Not quickly, but quick enough to where it'll bother me. I'm worried more about that guy than the E5, to be honest. I wanted to get a big hit on him. That way, yep, someone else can two-shot him. Let this IS-7 go around because he has full HP. Even though this guy's gonna stick with me, I feel like. Ooh, what are you doing, E100? He's pushed me into. Let me get out of his way here. He has pushed me into him. I couldn't hit his lower glacis. It was not very nice there, but unfortunately, I don't have a good shot on him now. So I'm just gonna, wait for them to kill him. And I'm gonna continue on this way. Alright, so yeah, we lost. We didn't lose the hill, but thought I might get lucky there. Nope. Right, I'm a little surprised this bat chat already is pushing like that. Ooh, you're making this difficult, IS-7. Yes, you are. Alright. I'm gonna trying to help you, dude, but whatever. I'm not helping you anymore. Gotta worry about this Object 140, of course. But tried to help this IS-7, but he was making it very freaking difficult for me to help him against that T-32. I'm backing up here just so it is less likely that I get flanked. But I'm gonna let my team regroup a little bit here. Alright, that Object 140 is pushing to the hill there, which is smart on his part. Yeah, I'm trying to watch my butt. I'm trying to keep up with somebody who can help me. Ain't no way I'm getting up on that hill, people. This E5 I'm hoping can hold his own. Oh, god damn it. How'd I miss that? Nice shot, though. I have a feeling they're gonna come out from around here. Or not. I thought they were gonna wrap back. Thanks. Sometimes in E3 you gotta try to be a little deceiving, but I'm concerned this 140 is gonna come back around for me. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing a lot of damage and being helpful right now, but I'm just making sure I don't die without getting anything off. Yep, there he is. At least I got a good lick on him, and he doesn't have a repair kit or a fire extinguisher, so he's gonna burn out, it looks like. Whew, that was a nice ass shot for me. That artillery usually is following right behind him, so alright, I honestly think he's gonna be down here to my right. Or not. All in all, pretty decent game. Even though we weren't grouped together like I usually like towards the end of matches, we were still working pretty well as a team. Ooh, there he is. That was one off. Alright, so definitely have to approach this differently, as in shoot him through the pillars. Very difficult as an artillery to shoot through them. So I was not going around the corner and getting blasted. Alright, so about 13 minutes left here, so I'm going to chug on along here. Mastery Badge 2nd class, 3600 damage, blocked a little bit. Just move on here. What other tank haven't I really played? I haven't played the mouse, but why don't I play the Bat Chat? Granted, I haven't seen Abdul tonight, since he's usually here towards the tail end of streams, but if you're gonna watch this after it re-uploads, playing the Bat Chat for you, because you always request it. Usually I try to hit tanks that I see a lot of you guys that I recognize your name request on a frequent basis. Bat Chat definitely not my best tank by any means, but gonna do my best here. And unfortunately, like talking about it earlier, the Lorraine getting replaced, I'm a little upset, especially if they change statistically the tank too much, because the new tank coming out, the Bat Chat, basically prototype in a way, statistically what was shown is pretty freaking terrible. It's a little bit better than AMX 1390, but not by much. It's going to be a pretty significant nerf to the line. But yeah, seeing as the amount of mediums they have, I am going to head over this way, but honestly, I don't really like wide open maps for the Bat Chat like this, because you can be shot from a lot of different areas, and in Bat Chat I like maps where I can kind of pull up behind a building, position myself to where I'm only going to be shooting and be shot from by one person. But here's the hoping I can do something here, but that's not good early on. Peekaboo. Yeah, that's a bad shot. Whoa, 121. I'm pulling back because you're pulling back. Oh god, there's another Bat Chat here. Oh god, I'm being pushed. Dude, I get it, I was in front of you, but please don't push me into people. Hello, Turtle Gaming. There's only about a little over 10 minutes left in the stream, but I can play pretty much any tier. I have a lot of different tanks. I'm hesitant to reload, but I probably should. Let's see if I can get one more hit here. Nope, I'm gonna reload because we're getting flanked, and really I'm gonna not to ditch my team, but if I can get out of here, it will be beneficial to my team if I can run away. This is turning ugly regardless. But yeah, it definitely hurt having that many tanks over on that side, and really they didn't do anything. Don't shoot me. And I'm dead. There's still a Jagged Panther over there. Get him. Oh well. There really wasn't anything I could have did there other than sit there and die before I reload it. It's just unfortunate though, because T1 Cunningham, I know that might be a joke, but honestly I'll hop into a T1 Cunningham since you requested it. I got a little bit of equipment there. I do have to service it, unfortunately. No, I guess run with that. Thanks Turtle Gaming for the sub. I stream every Wednesday, and even I do have a schedule up on my websites, wattguru.com and menzgaming.com, and also on Facebook. I'll be streaming this Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, I always release non-stream videos in between each stream. But yeah, I have a lot of tanks to play around with. I've been playing World of Tanks for several years now, and I've built up quite a bit of tanks. I was a little afraid I wouldn't get in a match pretty quickly there, but little T1 Cunningham here. I haven't played this in quite some time, and honestly, I don't expect much out of this match, since I used to like playing with the, I forget what the gun was called, the little machine gun on it, but they took it out recently in the patch to kind of simplify tier 1 tanks, and I was a little bit upset. I remember playing T1 Cunninghams back when I was playing quite a bit of... Hello, Zach. Nice of you to come at the end of the stream here. I used to play the T1 Cunningham, not a lot, but semi-frequently, because I was actually good at damaging higher tier tanks in it when I used to play tournaments and esports back when tier 1s were used semi-frequently. But I actually have this from that, because I wouldn't be the go-to Cunningham guy, but I would play it more than a lot of people probably would. I have not played a tier 1 match in ages. Okay. Fortunately, the aiming time is atrocious on this thing. I'm hoping that artillery doesn't hit me. I'm not too concerned about anybody except this BT-2 that's gonna kill me here. Because unfortunately, I hate that gun. I love the little machine gun it used to have, but I definitely could have did better there. But yeah. I'm going to hop into the 121 here. After this, depending on how long this takes, I might have time for one more battle after this. Yeah, Turtle Gaming. It picks up. I don't know if you have premium account or not. That helps out a ton if you can get a premium account. But really, World of Tanks starts picking up once you... usually finish your first tier 10 line if you do have a premium account. Then the credits are a lot easier to come by. But really, it does help either having a premium account or a premium tank. Otherwise, your best bet's kind of sticking tier 7 and under without one. And once you get a decent amount of battles under your belt, probably 2,000 I would say, credits aren't a huge issue unless you're trying to buy that tier 9 and tier 10 on a consistent basis. Whew, I almost forgot what I was playing here. It's Assault. I gotta remind myself at times. Yep, good night, Foreplay. Nice chatting with you. I might have been able to shoot that guy, but he backed up just a little bit too much for me. I'm actually a little bit upset I'm on assault again for this map. Alright, maybe, just maybe I can... Nope, he saw he was spotted, so he shrunk back into the depths of the corner there. We definitely will be able to push where that leopard is, I feel like. Although, man, that T-30 got a fantastic shot, and I just got nailed. The 121's better than T-54 since it is the tier 10 compared to the tier 9, but the T-54 is definitely better than the WZ-120, and I feel like the Russian mediums compared to the 121, they're a little bit better in most cases. Yeah, the T-60, I thought you might meant that. T-62A compared to the 121, better on most maps currently, because the lack of gun depression on the 121 is extremely painful. But on city maps, I'd much rather have the 121, but unfortunately, you never know what map you'll get on World of Tanks. Alright, let's just get their attention over here. I almost did that earlier, Zachary. This is a medium tank, but virtually it plays like a heavy tank. Very good upper glacis armor, and its gun is pretty much heavy-like with 440 damage per shell on average. If only it would do that every single shot. Sometimes you get really low 300 rolls and you're like, ugh, you just kind of freak out at times when you're doing the same amount of damage as the T-62A when you trade so much for that high alpha gun. There we go, there's a nice 444 damage shot. I like I kind of hinted at earlier, I like even numbers and symmetry at times. I always get made fun of by my girlfriend and like my family and her family. Like putting the volume on a TV or a radio cannot be an odd number or a prime number or something. I just can't handle it. It's gotta be even. It's one of those random factoids that make no sense, but nonetheless are pretty interesting. So I am very pleased that I killed that Centurion. Actually, I was there. Waiting for him to plink. And, Bat Chat, you are making me stick out here for you. And I guess barely tracked him too. I thought the 183 was going to try to shoot the Bat Chat, but God damn it. Oh, thankfully somebody killed him. But yeah, I run no mods. Usually I don't curse, but I was mad at myself because that was completely my fault. I dinged there. But yeah, I'm not the best person to ask about mods, Turtle Gaming. I don't run any mods. Me personally, I don't think they do too much good for the game as far as I'm concerned, but they're I don't think there's any problem with running like XVM and stuff for some people. It just depends on what you're looking from the game. I like how the game runs vanilla. Can I get him? Yay! I was like, can I get him without getting killed by him? I'm trying, Bat Chat, to get over to you. You got an E4 and a T10, but I'm mainly concerned about this T-54E1. And somehow there's a Waffle Tiger still back there unspotted. That terrifies me a little bit. Alright, he should be dead by the time, you know, let's say. It should open a little bit of a window for me to get through here. which it's right about 8 o'clock, so honestly, this has probably been my last game since I didn't see anyone else request a tank. I'll be back, of course, Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a couple videos I hope to release before then for World of Tanks. That you can find that in the settings for your game. You don't need any mods for that. Just go into settings and tinker around in there. You can get the overlays that you see on my mini-map right here without modifying your game at all. Alright. Feel like I'm gonna get artied now since he knew I was coming. Don't do it, IS-7. Thought we were friends. And I'm dead. No gun depression. I don't care if you subscribe 2 times. Like, it does delete you after a while of inactivity, but really doesn't do any harm. But like I said, I'll be back streaming Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I still have to update the image for my streaming. But otherwise, I'll see you guys then, hopefully. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you on Saturday. And then after that, I'll be back next Wednesday, same time as tonight. Yep, nice chatting with a lot of you guys, and also a couple of the new guys here. Decent match to end the night, but I could have did a lot better. But the gun depression definitely makes it a little wonky with this tank, but compared to the T62A, your upper glacis is fantastic. You can bounce some tier 10s at times with it, just not tank destroyers or gold rounds. And the gun on this is really the bread and butter of this tank. But otherwise, thanks again for watching, guys. I said a little bit earlier in the stream, but if you like this video, feel free to subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Otherwise, you can fan fund me here on YouTube through Google Wallet, upper right hand corner almost all my videos, or there's a link to PayPal in the video description below. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys next week, and also this Saturday, hopefully. I almost forgot about Saturday being this week since my work schedule, I consider the weekends basically Saturdays next week already. But in any event, thanks for watching, and good night, guys.